We'll tackle everybody, okay?
Why should we even be involved in politics? Charlie Peters.
That's a good question, Paul. There are two things that we normally don't talk about. That's politics and religion. We don't talk about religion because most often we don't know very much about religion. We don't talk about politics because we don't know anything about politics. We don't know what's going on. But it's time to educate ourselves, because if we don't get involved, then we have no say in what's happening. Today you see tea parties taking place throughout the country and town hall meetings that are protesting what the government intends on doing. People are starting to be active, interested in what's going on, because everyone knows that it affects them one way or another. Whether you're in favor of government-funded healthcare reform or you're not for government-funded healthcare reform, you need to get involved. We have to learn what's really in the bills that are before Congress and the Senate. There are those that make claims about what government-funded healthcare will do or won't do, but in the legislation, you can see what they intend on doing. In one of the pieces of legislation, H.R. 1200, the government wants to increase its right of the use of eminent domain. And in the section that's applicable to that, they say they can use the right of eminent domain for anything that is beneficial or advantageous. But they don't define what those two are. We don't learn what's in there. We may find someday that someone comes up to our house and evicts us using the right of eminent domain just because we chose not to get involved. There are other things in the bills that should concern us. There's, in one bill, they want to form a health care trust fund. Now, when you think of a healthcare trust fund, how many of you think of the Social Security Trust Fund that is supposed to be for those individuals that put into it? The same as the healthcare trust fund should be. Who borrows from the Social Security Trust Fund? The government. The Social Security Trust Fund is almost broke. Do you expect the government to treat the healthcare trust fund any differently? In another bill, they propose an 8.5% employer tax on all employees, similar to your Social Security tax that the employer pays. And they want to add a 2.2% employee tax, similar to what you pay on Social Security. Social Security started out as a 1% tax on wages by the employee only. Now it's up to 15% split by the employer and the employee. How long will it take the government to increase that 2.2% healthcare income tax to match what the employer is going to be taxed? 8.5%. Look at the government's track record. Surely they won't change when it comes to increasing revenue in their pocket that they can spend on programs however they so choose. When a law is passed, we are guaranteed that we're going to have to pay those taxes. But there is no law that's passed that tells the government how to use those taxes. That's why we have to become active now, and we have to learn what's in legislation, because not only will we suffer if we don't, our children or our grandchildren will also suffer.
Any upcoming books or publications?
Yeah, there's a new book that should be out this coming September, next month. It's called Tea Time Has Arrived. And it's about being taxed enough already, not with just taxes, but with government intrusion into our lives, and being taxed enough with the corruption that's taking place back in Washington, D.C., where our congressmen and senators are not held accountable for their bad actions, and we have to pay the price for their bad actions. Tea Time Has Arrived.
And when is that going to be published?
Should be in the bookstore sometime in September, next month.
you had another book, right?
Yes, The National Debt, The Sinking of America. Right now it's available on Amazon.com, on Borders Online, and Barnes & Noble Online. The National Debt, The Sinking of America.
Any responses from that book?
Those that have read it have thoroughly enjoyed it. And the most common comment I hear is, I never knew that was happening. So it's an enlightening book. It's well worth reading. And where The National Debt, The Sinking of America leaves off, tea time has arrived, picks up, and goes a step further.
I can't make up my mind on what political party I should join. Any suggestions?
Be very careful. I belong to no political party. So when I talk, it's from a citizen's perspective. It's not from a political party's perspective. I push no party tenets because I happen to disagree with most of the party's tenets. Republican, Democrat, Socialist, Independents. And tea time has arrived. I talk about what a party would look like that truly represented me. And in the conclusion I say, what party looks like that today? There isn't any. Therefore I'm an independent, truly independent.
Thank you, Charlie Peters, for your time and consideration.
You're welcome. Thank you.